This week, I'm going to answer Isabella's question. And she asked for tips on how to figure out how to use a degree to find jobs adjacent to your field to build skills while also having a stable and sustainable income. This is a great question because if you're in this field, if you've heard about this field, you probably know that it doesn't pay well, at least starting out. There are jobs out there that do pay really well later on, but in the beginning, it doesn't pay well, and experience is so important. So chances are you will have to volunteer to get experience, but we need to eat, right? We need to support ourselves. So how can we do this? How can we get this balance of getting really great experience while still being financially stable? And finances are super, super important to me. I'm really big on finances because my dad grew up really poor. His dad died when he was young, and he was the oldest of four brothers, or three brothers, four of them in total. So he took a fatherly role as an older teenager, and he is a business owner himself now. So he was always very financially conscious and imparted a lot of knowledge on me about finances. So before I give you tips on doing this, my first question to you, Isabella, would be why do you need to figure out jobs adjacent to your field? So you're looking to use your degree to get a job adjacent to your field. Now, is this because you're applying for jobs right now and you're not getting them? Or is this some sort of backup plan in case you don't get jobs? I do think it is a good idea to have some sort of backup plan in mind. But a lot of people don't get jobs in this field because they don't have the right strategy and they don't have good job applications. So a lot of people give up too soon. And really, all it takes is to make sure that they are applying for the right jobs, jobs that they can get. A lot of people don't understand what it means to have experience. Like on the job applications, it'll say like 3 to 5 years of experience, and they think it's just general experience. No, it's usually really specific to the jobs. So I always make sure that people are applying to the right jobs. This is how I help them. I have programs and master classes to help you. So we make sure that you're applying to the right jobs, and we make sure your job applications are really competitive, because this is another big problem that people have is they actually do have the experience, they do have the skills, but they're just not writing competitive job applications. A couple of months ago, when I was doing resume revamp, which is one of my master classes that you can get, I was trying to see if people wanted my help. And I was like, hey, if you think your resume needs work, or if you want to see if my class can help you, drop your resume in the comments and I'll take a look at it and let you know. And every person I talked to, dozens of people, except for maybe one, had a competitive resume. Most people write resumes that are for like businesses, not for wildlife careers, and our field is just so, so different. So you really want to put your energy in towards getting a job in our field and not necessarily other fields. And you can do this again when you have the right experience, the right degree, and usually that's more for graduate school, and then also a competitive job application. Those are the things that you need. Say you do want to get another job in a different field temporarily, or you want to know how you to leverage your skills. Well, so think about some of the skills that you have now or that you know will be useful in this field. So what I always recommend people do is get familiar with the jobs out there right now. So download my free job tracker and start tracking the jobs now. What you'll do is you'll look at the job boards and you'll start selecting jobs that you like now. And then you'll analyze those jobs. So if a lot of those jobs have something like GIS skills, and then think like, are there other jobs out there that use GIS? And for sure there are. You can work for the US Transportation Department. They definitely use GIS skills. There's a lot of companies and organizations out there that look for GIS, and they have nothing to do with wildlife. Statistics is another one. But you want to start with like the jobs that you like and that you want, because you first want to go for those, because I truly believe that you can have whatever job you want as long as you prepare for it. And again, this is why I have these programs and master classes, which are 30% off and 50% off until tomorrow night. So I can put the codes on this post. So I want you to first go for what you really, really, really want. And then from those job postings, extract things that can be applicable towards other jobs. So those are things that if you develop for the wildlife field and you decide you want to change fields, that you can. So for example, somebody I went to graduate school with, they were dead set on working on salamanders and doing herpetology. But later on, they wanted to make more money, but they were really good at statistics. So now they work for an organization doing statistical research and make some good money. And then, so that's what you would do. And to build skills while also having a stable and sustainable income. This is kind of a separate question, but I think there's this big misconception out there that we need to be volunteer, like we need to have a full-time experience. Like we need to be volunteering full-time in order to make it count, or working full-time. And neither of those things are true. There are so many people out there doing Uber as their full-time jobs. I always love talking to my Uber and Lyft drivers, and so many people have quit their real full-time jobs for Uber and Lyft because they get paid about the same and they love the flexibility. So what I'm saying to you is if you do volunteer or have an experience that doesn't pay well, are there things out there that you can use to supplement your income that lets you do these volunteering things? So there's two ways to look at it. You can volunteer full time, like say we're going to do that, and then use things like Uber and stuff at night to make some extra money so that can support your volunteering. Or you can get like a full-time job that like maybe we talked about GIS, that is some skills that will help you get a job in wildlife biology. You could get a full-time job doing something GIS related that's not in wildlife that pays well, and then volunteer to get wildlife experience on the weekends. Or you can do a combination of those things. You could do both part-time volunteer work and part-time work. I have a PDF that I created. It's called 22 things to do to make 22 ways to make money. And there's a lot of things that it's like pretty easy to make money, like Rover or WAG. We love animals. Those are pet sitting services that you can join. The people who I know who did them made like $1,000 a month just by like dog sitting not one time, but like one gig with one dog sitting gig. They had people drop dogs off at their house and they made $1,000 a month that way. So there are ways for you to make it all work. And I know these are not the most glamorous ways, but if you could have a really great internship or a really great volunteer experience and then just be doing like Uber and stuff or whatever it is, there's lots of things that you can choose from this list to make some money on the side until you get enough experience for your permanent wildlife job. I mean, that's a great way to set it up.